So we are ready. This night is about the students that have worked hard to be here. I'm going to introduce April Perry. She is the lead judge. She's responsible for managing this group here.
Good luck.
Yeah, good luck with that, Tim says. Yeah. But she does a phenomenal job. I'm going to turn it over to her. She'll give you some final instructions for what's going to happen. But for you students, you come up, you do your presentation. Reminder, you get 5 minutes max to do your presentation. April will control the judges. They have about 3 to 4 minutes to ask questions. We have a time schedule that she will beat you to death if you don't stay on the time schedule. All right? I'll turn it over to April, and she's going to introduce some special guests we have.
Thank you so much, Mike, and we need to give a round of applause to Mike. Mike is great to give thanks to everyone else, but I'll tell you what, he does a fantastic job with this competition, and it wouldn't happen without his hard work. So we really appreciate everything he's done. Just as a reminder to all the students that are going to be presenting, you'll have 5 minutes to present. I'm sitting right there, so when you're at 4 minutes, I'm going to raise my hand. That way you know you need to wrap it up over the next minute. After that, I'll give the judges about 3 minutes, a little bit more. I'm not going to cut them off. I will cut you off. I'm not going to cut them off. They don't get paid enough for that. And so anyway, we'll kind of wrap them up, and then you can have the transition between, you know, the team going off and the next team coming in. So really looking forward to it. We're going to be looking at 3 different aspects of your presentation. The judges were all emailed your written summaries a week ago, and they've gone over those, and they've thought about preliminary scoring for that. They'll also be judging you tonight on the idea that you have. So how good is your idea and how viable is it? And then they'll also be judging you on your presentation. So that's how you engage the audience while you're up here, and also your PowerPoint that you'll have up on the screen. I don't want to take much more time because I know that this could be a long night with 14 teams, but it's going to be a great night. But I do want to say that I did, you know, they say that you don't get anything if you don't ask for it. And I once heard someone speak that said that it's always good to be pleasantly aggressive. And so this year I decided to be a little pleasantly aggressive, and I decided to reach out to my friend Kricker, who had one of the biggest ideas that's about to come to fruition in our area that we've seen for decades, and that's Brady Industries. And I thought if anybody could get up here and give a few words of advice about entrepreneurism, it would be Craig Bouchard. And so I reached out to him and I said, you know, I'm not asking you for money for sponsorship, but I want you to come. I want you to see these young people, because I know you love young people, and I know you love innovation. And so come and see what this is all about. Next year, I'll be a little more aggressive. But I'll be pleasant, Craig. So, Craig, if you would like, I'd love to have you come up and say a few words. And I might also say, he brought Julie Cavanaugh, who they say behind every great man there's a woman. And Julie is the woman behind many great men in this organization. She really keeps things running. We've got Blaine Holt, who is a great friend and just is a fantastic partner with us, and also Nate Haney, who's also with Brady Industries, and then we've got a New York Times reporter here. So thank you for coming, and who knows, we all might be on the New York Times because of this, so we'll see. But Craig, if you'd like to say a few words? Thank you.
It's really nice to be here. April and Don are just out of this world great people, and Kentucky Farmers is one of our bands. We wouldn't want to go anywhere else. That's a fantastic thing. But thanks for having me out and our team. Generation Z sitting right over here. Good luck tonight. Normally I would get all dressed up with a suit and tie, but I spoke to 1,000 of you Generation Z people this afternoon, and I wasn't going in there without wearing jeans. I just couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. I wasn't going to do it, and so I talked at Paul Blazer High School to the student body a little bit about your topic. you're the hope. You're the hope of what we are, right? And the world's changing. And what I talked a little bit about today was, look, my mom, who called me in the middle of my presentation, my presentation was that your generation could in the end be the country's greatest generation. That designation currently sits with my mother and father's generation. Those people born in the 1920s into prosperity, that then suffered the Great Depression where abject poverty was everywhere. And then there was a threat to liberty and there was tyranny threatened in the world. And the United States went to war to save the world, which they did. And they came back and rebuilt America. So I think a little bit about Appalachia and Northeast Kentucky in this way. You know, there's been a really tough economic recession here for a long time. There is now a war going on. It's your generation that has to win it. That's the war of people trying to sell drugs to ruin your families and ruin your communities. So we've got to win that war, and then you're going to be on the verge of prosperity rebuilding Appalachia. It is not going to be the millennials that win that war. It's going to be Generation Z. I say that as a world-class expert on this topic. I have 6 children. 3 are millennials and 3 are Generation Z. The first 3 are boys and the last 3 are girls. And if I add up all of the hours I've analyzed those 6, from birth until today, it's 1,446,000 hours. So I'm an expert on this. The millennials are not going to win this battle. They're very relaxed and they're team players and they appreciate what they're doing more than kind of what their income is going to be and all kinds of good stuff. But your generation is a generation of independent thinking, of people that are very competitive, want to start their families, want to get a job, and want to succeed in life, and want to start their own company. So for instance, 60% of you want to start your own company. Only 40% of the millennials want to do that. 60 versus 40 is a big difference. So I think all of you can start your own company. I hope some of you come and work for Brady Industries someday. And we'll take a few millennials too if you're in the crowd. I don't want you to feel bad. But my daughters are all Generation Z and they're all going to run companies, and I hope they're as smart as you guys. So thank you for having us, and we'll hope to do business with you as you start your companies.
First team, Satara.
Good evening, everyone, and thank you for coming to listen to our presentation. Have you ever seen someone glued to their phone, walking aimlessly, and not really paying attention to their surroundings? Has this ever happened to you?
Hey, get off your phone.
According to a study from the University of Buffalo, more injuries occur per mile from distracted walking than distracted driving. And those numbers only continue to go up. In 2017 alone, there were 6,000 pedestrian fatalities due to traffic. This was an 11% increase from the previous year, which is the single largest annual increase ever.
Hi, I'm Zane.
I'm Bella.
And I'm Tommy,
And this is Sotera.
where your safety is our top priority. Here at Sotera, our mission is to apply our passion for innovating technology to make the world a safer place for generations to come.
We plan on solving this problem by creating a phone case that implements Sotera's 3-part awareness system. The first part will be a visual alert, where a stop sign will appear on the screen of the phone. The second part will be a tactile alert, where the phone will vibrate. And the third part will be an auditory alert, where an alarm will go off, letting the user know that they need to get out of the way of potential dangers.
Anyone who owns a cell phone is a potential customer of Sotera. However, we do plan on targeting people with sensor awareness issues first. Everyone can benefit from Sotera because it will keep users safe when they're not paying attention to their surroundings.
Some of our biggest competitors consist of OtterBox, Incipio, LiveProof, and Pelican. However, our product is different from these competitors due to the fact that we have built-in sensors that not only protect the phone, but also you, the user.
The cost to manufacture a single case is $20, and we plan on selling them for $70. However, we would like to give discounts to healthcare organizations that help the special needs community. Using these figures, our net profit would be $14.3 billion, and our cost to manufacture would be $5.7 billion. We plan on selling Sotera at carrier stores, Apple and Samsung locations, and online.
The chart shown here lays out our plan for promotion and distribution to our two main target markets, healthcare organizations and mainstream customers. And as you can see, the strategies to reach each are very different. I'll give you a second to look over that.
In the second prototype, we would like to add space for an adapter port, as well as making the phone case the correct dimensions for current phone models. We would also like to engineer the sensors to better fulfill Sotera's vision. Finally, we would like to find a facility to further develop and enhance our product. As you can see, these three steps will require an investment. As of right now, we have not made any sales. However, we are following an innovation business plan, which means that we will have losses at the beginning. But after a while, we will increase exponentially, which is great for investors like you. The innovation business plan is very different from the small market business plan, which has a very lower price profit ceiling. And I'd be happy to tell you more about the difference of that in the Q&As.
So the prototype seen here was made using a 3D modeling software called Autodesk Fusion. And while this specific model is for an iPhone 6s, we would like to make more models for different types of phones in the future. And we can pass out some prototypes that we've printed out. So the one in gray was the first prototype that we printed out, and this orange one was our second one that we innovated a little bit and adjusted the measurements.
So the feasibility of our product is actually not that far-fetched. With current sensor technology being about the size of a quarter, it'll perfectly fit within our phone case. And the picture shown here demonstrates how current sensor technology is used in cars. We plan on implementing the same technology into our phone case so that the speed of an object coming your way can be detected.
In the future, we would like to increase the sensor range to a maximum of 30 feet. We would also like to perfect the phone case so that it better keeps the phone and the user safe while maintaining a sleek and fashionable case design. As an exit strategy, we would like to partner with or sell to Apple or Samsung to embed Sotera into all phones.
Sotera is an innovative new technology. With your help, we can save thousands of lives every year. As technological advances keep increasing at such a rapid rate, the need for our product has never been greater.
At this time, we would like to give a brief demonstration.
By utilizing Sotera's three-part awareness technology, we can keep the user safe from potential hazards and dangers, as seen here.
Thank you for listening. At this time, I'd like to answer any questions you may have.
You go ahead.
On the microphone, okay. In your handout, you showed a $200,000 estimate of starting costs. I'm not asking you to break that down in the infinite detail, but can you give me a perspective on what are the major elements of the $200,000?
Well, as you can see in our next steps, we talked about we have to find a facility to develop, and that'll obviously cost a little bit of money, but also the current sensors that are on the market right now are not exactly where we'd like them to be. So we're going to have to engineer them to fit exactly what we'd like them to do.
So you're intending to do that in-house? If you're building the capability to do that?
Yes.
How did you come up with this idea?
So, actually it's kind of funny. You know the game Pokemon Go? Well, that caused, it was fun for a lot of people, but it actually caused some huge problems, and you would not believe how many people got injured playing that game because they were just glued to their phone. And so, I wasn't specifically thinking of that, but just kind of things like that where more recently in society, technology has been so important that you can't go without your phone a lot of the time. And so I tried to think of something that would help people get less distracted, and so then we came up with this idea to try to keep people safe.
So, do you have any evidence that consumers actually want it? I understand the problem addressed and the effectiveness of the solution, but what makes you believe that folks will buy?
Well, people don't enjoy getting hurt.
They assume.
But do they believe they will?
Well, there's actually cities in New York and other places where it's very busy that they will either fine people for being distracted on their phone, or they have lowered the speed limits and made specific lanes for people to walk while they're looking at their phone. And there's a city in London that puts pads around their telephone poles because people keep walking into them. So I feel like there's the needs there, definitely.
Well, we also, after interviewing multiple people, many people stated that they'd be willing to spend the extra $10 to $20 for our product just for that protection on their life. Like, for example, OtterBox costs $50 and they don't have that added feature. So a lot of people have stated that they'd be willing to spend that money just for that added protection.
The sensor be able to discriminate between objects, or any object that's in front of you. It seemed to me like if you get as close as you were and it goes off, that's one thing, but if you stretch it out to 30 feet, it's going to be going off all the time on any object that's around you.
So this is where we're going to have it to where it's based on the speed of an object or the mass of an object coming at you. This sensor technology actually already exists where it does detect a certain mass or speed. And that's what we'll have implemented into it. And we'd also like to do it based on your GPS location. So like, for example, let's say you're in New York or at Atlanta Airport, it's going to go off a lot less. We're going to have it based on like where you're at. So like if you're around here, you're less likely to run into a bunch of people, cars, and all that. Whereas New York, there's the hundreds of thousands of people on the streets, on their phones. So we're going to make it based on GPS location.
Thank you all very
Oh,
we good?
that's fine.
Okay. Thank you all very much.
Thank you.
Good job. Great job.
Hi, I'm Ethan Bevan.
I'm Gavin Bevan.
I'm Chris Hawley. And we're the creators of
Man Performance. Man Performance is an athletic apparel company focused on enabling athletes to stay active. Our innovative products provide athletes with a new and exciting way to recover and prevent injuries. We combine style and comfort by designing compressed shirts with sewn-in gel packs, resulting in ultimate muscle-icing experience.
So what inspired us to create Men Performance?
We brought our brand to life after becoming aware of the rapid increase in student-athlete injuries.
One study shows that 38% of high school pitchers experience shoulder pain, while 58% experience elbow pain during their careers.
We believe its high percentages are a result of not utilizing the RICE recovery method, specifically ice and compression.
Some of the reasons student-athletes aren't applying ice regularly are
Too messy.
uncomfortable.
Inconvenient.
Simply put, available options are a hassle.
With injuries happening every day due to these problems, Men Performance is ready to give athletes everywhere the solution they deserve.
Currently, there are around 8 million athletes participating in high school sports, while another 500,000 participating in collegiate sports.
Statistics reveal an astounding 90% of athletes reported they experienced some sort of sports injury.
We believe the large amount of student-athletes, combined with the need for convenient ice treatment, validates our selected target market.
By targeting 15 to 24-year-olds, Men Performance expects increased sales year to year as the next generation of athletes begin their high school and college careers.
So how can you get your hands on our products?
Our products will be made available for purchase through our website and mobile app.
In addition to finding our products online, we will offer direct purchasing at multiple vendor events, as well as team sales presentations.
To kick off Men Performance, we were launched with 2 exciting products.
Our first product is a long-sleeve compressed shirt with sewn-in gel packs.
This will be the go-to options for athletes who need full upper body ice treatment.
The price of the shirt will be $79.99.
The second product we're launching with is a single-arm compression sleeve with sewn-in gel packs.
The most important aspect of this product is that it's universal, meaning it fits both right and left-handers.
This product will provide pitchers and quarterbacks with the most convenient way of icing their throwing arm after an athletic performance.
Our price for the sleeve will be $39.99.
Now you may be wondering what it costs to produce these products.
Let's take another look at our full upper body ice shirt, our most expensive product to produce.
Here's an illustration breaking down the cost of each material.
As you can see, the total cost we have in this shirt, minus the labor, is only $4.57.
While we are thrilled with our low costs, we're even more excited to enter an untapped market.
As of right now, we will experience indirect competition, such as various ice traps and homemade ice packs.
However, you will not find any other products on the market that match the innovative approach we reviewed earlier.
We believe the lack of direct competition is the result of the industry failing to adapt their ice products to the needs of today's athletes.
In order to ensure success during our first year of operation, Mint Performance must be able to generate monthly sales of $6,000.
This chart represents our ongoing costs broken down into percentages.
As you can see, labor is our most expensive ongoing cost.
After all expenses are accounted for, we project a profit margin of 31%.
Before we're able to launch Mint Performance, there are several tasks we must accomplish.
Tasks such as applying for a patent,
Registering our trademark,
Ordering materials.
and building our inventory.
So how much funding is needed to complete these tasks?
We have identified our startup cost to be $6,780.
Mint Performance plans to use money earned from this competition to get our business up and running.
As we wrap up our presentation, we'd like to leave you with a few startling statistics.
Did you know high school athletes account for an estimated 2 million injuries, 500,000 doctor visits, and 30,000 hospitalizations each year?
Since 2000, there has been a 500% increase in the number of serious shoulder and elbow injuries among youth, baseball, and softball players.
Overuse injuries are responsible for nearly 50% of all sports injuries to middle and high school students.
While these statistics reveal an epidemic taking place across athletics, the CDC has stated that more than half of all sports injuries are preventable.
With that being said, we have taken a notice and made it our mission to provide athletes with products that can prolong their athletic careers.
Our brand was not founded for the money or the fame.
It's founded by athletes for athletes.
In Mint Performance, we help today's superstar remain tomorrow's superstar.
Thank you for your time. Do you have any questions?
So let me ask this question. I'm not clear on whether you wear that before you're injured or after you're injured, or what?
Well, you usually use it after, like, you work out or something, say your muscles are sore. You're usually supposed to ice your muscles and
So
stuff.
that's after injury?
Yes.
Right.
Would your primary clients be medical professionals or individuals purchasing these units?
I'd say individuals, because the student athletes is our most valuable target.
And I'm going to steal John's question and ask if you've done any interviews or, have you looked at your clients to see whether they'd be interested in this?
We've talked to many people from our school, such as like pitchers and quarterbacks or teams, and they're all really interested in buying them. We also took a survey and said that people said that they would really wear them and buy them.
About the design itself, have you checked into maybe physical therapists or others who may have some insight in where to position ice packs or other things to come up with your design, or did you just come up with it out of your own experience?
I just came up with it out of our own experience.
Let me ask a question about your detailed cost. So I'm assuming based on the data that you intend to manufacture these yourself. So explain to me the thought process between, clothes and sports apparel is made every day. So what makes you think you can create this more efficiently and more effectively versus having it manufactured by someone else with just using the patented materials? Good question. The point obviously I'm trying to make is there's an industry out there in apparel already, and you guys have a great idea. I'm not looking negatively at the idea at all, but the analysis for a lot of people is I manufactured this myself, when there are tons of people out there manufacturing stuff right now that already have scale, already have efficiencies and everything else. So I just didn't know if you went through that kind of analysis in how you came up with your cost. I think you've answered that.
So real fast, your startup costs are incredibly low. What makes you think that it will be enough to launch your business, especially since business-to-consumer product will demand a great deal of advertising, promotion, brand recognition, and things like that. It seems like $6,000 plus is very low. How did you come up with that number, and what makes you think you can launch with only that amount?
Well, our most expensive thing we looked into was getting a patent. It cost about $5,000 or so to get a patent. The rest of the stuff we buy in bulk. Say we got shirts, we get 1,000 shirts for less than $1 a piece. So we're buying everything in bulk. And to start up and advertise, we're going to use social media, and we're going to go to nearby schools and give sales presentations to like coaches and things.
Very good. Thank you all so much.
Good evening. My name is Shelby Metzler.
I am Shelley Hedinger.
I'm Landon B. And I'm Colton Bauer.
And we are EcoTop, the future of e-waste. 50 million metric tons. That is how much electronic waste, or e-waste as it is commonly called, is discarded every single year. 15% of which is computers, much like the one you see sitting right there. And according to the EPA, only 12% of this e-waste is even recycled. And even that small percentage that is recycled requires the use of harsh chemicals such as mercury and hydrochloric acid. Although recycling does have some benefits, recycling 1 million laptops provides enough energy to power 3,500 homes for an entire year. Our goal is to not completely recycle these laptops, but to reuse the marketable components to create these products you see here, resulting in less waste. From one laptop, EcoTop can produce one real-time security camera, a diffuse light window pane, and up to 6 portable battery packs for charging your small electronics. We will also recycle up to 3 pounds of plastic materials and precious metals through the use of the proper recycling companies, which will contribute to the welfare of our nation.
EcoTop will be asking each consumer to donate their old laptops rather than throwing them out when they become damaged or outdated. For their donation, they will receive either $10 of EcoTop credit or $12 direct deposit. To begin production, we will spend $10 to $12 per laptop, plus an additional $3 to purchase wire and small electronic components. After successfully selling the products of EcoTop, we will be left with a profit margin of 230%, ranging from $15 to $23 per laptop.
Harsh chemicals are required in order to recycle laptop materials. However, unlike our competitors, EcoTop has found a way around this. We plan to reuse and repurpose the materials in the laptop that we can use to make these products. This will allow us to perform a process that is not only safer for the environment, but it is more cost efficient for our business. Strategic goals are required for any successful business. EcoTop will begin work in an in-home office using materials or tools that we already have available to us. With the ease of use of social media, it is the logical place for us to advertise our business. After some successful advertising and using only 1/3 of the profits from our first 100 laptops, we will be able to pay off our startup cost of $500.
Like any startup or business, we need a plan to make sure that we're successful. As you can see,
from our flow chart here, we plan to be able to start our operations with $500. We plan to use 250 of this to purchase our first 25 laptops, and the other 250 to purchase new tools and the components that we'll need. From there, we'll begin our work in our in-home office, which we already have access to, so that helps keep our startup costs even lower. And as Landon mentioned, we'll begin advertising on social media since it's widely available to everyone and we can get the word out. After that, once we start making some decent profit, we'll expand through business partnerships and whatnot to help our business grow with more advertising. And our future goal is to definitely bring our services online. That way they are available to everyone. This will allow us to take orders online, to ship out our products, and to deal with the money transfer and everything online. So with that, we present to you EcoTop, a way for you to help the environment and be rewarded for doing so. Thank you.
Guys, I like the concept. It seems like your two biggest deals are going to be acquiring customers, so raising awareness, and acquiring laptops. And I like the incentive-based process. You're going to pay people. That makes sense. I'm not sure $10 will get it done. I wish you well, and I hope that you can buy some laptops for that. And I think maybe people will sell a broken laptop that's not worth anything for $10 if you can make it convenient enough. So have you thought about convenient drop-off locations, or will you be mobile and go pick
Yeah,
up?
towards at the very beginning of our operations, we plan to be on just working the local area, places that we can reasonably drive to. That way people don't have to bring their laptops to us. We can go to them and be like, hey, we'll give you $10, give us your trash, and we're going to make something with it. So that's the plan to start out.
I will say, we also talked to multiple people at our school, and one of our teachers said, I have 4 laptops in my house right now, and if you'll give me $40, I would be a happy camper. So we have had some people say that $10 per laptop does seem pretty reasonable, and you know, it's better than sitting in your closet.
Yeah, so I love the idea that you guys really did some problem solving, you know, with regard to the e-waste problem itself, and then the existing ways of dealing with the e-waste problem, and the harsh chemicals involved, and then coming up with the idea of creating new products. But I guess my question is, how much effort did you spend researching the market for the products that you'll create out of solving the e-waste problem?
One of our biggest products we're going to be making is the portable battery charger, and that you can plug any cable you want into that. So anyone who has any kind of a small device or a phone or a camera or anything that they would like to have something portable for, that's going to be something that's very appealing to them. And as for the webcams, those can be used just as regular webcams for Skype calls or video chats with family and whatnot, or they can even be set up to work as security cameras in your house. The window pane was just kind of an add-on bonus that we kind of found out that we could make with the laptops, and it acts more as like a mood light, and it gives a more diffused white light than what a typical desk lamp would. So it looks more realistic than what you could get from a regular fluorescent bulb or anything like that.
And as far as research into recycling and repurposing laptops, there's not very many, we haven't found any companies that are doing exactly what we're doing. There are multiple companies that are recycling plastics and that sort of thing, but that's very expensive and requires the harsh chemicals like we said, so this is kind of our way around this, and we haven't really found anyone that's specifically doing what we're doing.
So you've given a very cogent presentation, and it certainly sounds compelling. And I'm wondering, as you went through all of this research, whether you discovered why somebody else hasn't done it. I mean, it sounds really easy. Why does this? So what are the barriers to entry for this particular idea?
Well, one of the big things is just kind of having a little bit of technological background, because myself, I'm a huge computer nerd and whatnot. So I actually read an article that said the webcams use the same they use USB 2.0 protocol, which means you can literally just attach a regular USB cable to it and it works. So then from that point I was like, okay, and I started looking into more and more things, and then I found, okay, we can take the backlight out of the screen, we can make this from it, or then we can take the batteries out and just buy a few extra components to go with that and make them portable battery chargers. So it was just kind of, it's always kind of been there, but I don't think anyone's ever really looked at it and just went, that's something that I could use to make profit.
Sounds good. Thank you all very much.
Thank you.
Great. Thank you very much. Good job. Good
Actually, can you roll that? I don't know how to do it. Great.
Hi, we are Happy Little Industries, presented from Prairie View Hospital. I'm Rodney Johnstone, Grace Luz, and Kaylee Evans.
Okay, so there's an increasing problem in the world with the mishandling of products that can be recycled rather than sent to a landfill. And in the Ashland area in particular, we have very limited access to recycling, and the dumpsters that are available are only available around 16 hours a week. So with the pileup of garbage, there would be more landfills, and that would make the environment worse.
Our solution to this problem is to create a curbside pickup service for the residents of the Ashland Tri-State area. We would like to make recycling more, put it more in the forefront and give citizens a chance to help the environment.
All right, so our target customers would be people of the Ashland Tri-State area, especially because we want to start off small but be able to build it into a bigger business. Also, we would be able to sell the recyclable materials such as aluminum to other companies that do buy that, such as Brady Industries.
Our approach for our target market would be through social media and commercials along with radio and word of mouth. We would also, our monthly service, we would like to make our process comparable to local garbage companies.
All right, so our competition right now are trash companies such as Rumpke and other places that sell to Brady Industries. Okay, so our strategic milestones would be to hire employees, be able to buy the truck, be able to begin to start our service, and be able to sell our products.
Our company's first steps would be to assemble our staff and hire drivers. Depending on the amount of funding we get, we could buy around 1 to 3 trucks. So before that, we need to find facilities that will fund our recyclables.
In conclusion, we would like to bring the focus of recycling to an area that is heavy on coal and doesn't put much emphasis on recycling, as it's an increasing problem in not just our community but the world itself. And is there any questions?
So I've got a quick one. I was told earlier I had 17 companies, and one of them that I own is actually a recycling company, so I'm familiar with this industry. Most of us are familiar with the curbside program in general, and most of us know that it is really challenging to have a sustainable program that is economically viable. So my question for you all is, and I didn't really hear this in your presentation, but what is unique in the way you're going to offer this that's going to make this a sustainable business? This is tried a lot in a lot of communities, and most people struggle with it mightily. So tell me why you think you guys are going to be different.
We would like to work in tandem with not just recyclable goods, but we could also pick up just regular trash as well, which would nullify other, like Rumpke, for example, like trash companies. And so not only like will we take recyclable goods, but we could sustain business from trash as well.
So very much in the news lately has been the decline of recycling across the country because of the loss of markets to sell the recovered material. So have you guys done any research on where, other than Brady Industries, you would sell the recycled material that you capture? And at what price points and how all that would generate revenue for your company?
We haven't taken much consideration of other companies because we did like to emphasize in Brady because where it is local, where it is local, and where aluminum is in many materials that can be processed, we like to emphasize on that. However, there are certain areas, well, with the Ohio River is a great source of transportation and railroads by like our area, we could transport to, you know, Pittsburgh or Cincinnati or other areas that would have a larger surplus of need for it.
And as we do get bigger, we do hope to be able to find other places that would be willing to buy not just the aluminum, but the paper and the plastic.
Thank you all very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Your yak on our rack.
Isn't this
Oh, this is yeah, a bribe, an investment, my goodness. Death of the salesman here.
Hi, I'm Chloe.
I'm Emmy. I'm Autumn.
I'm Aiden, and this is
The Yak Rack. Kayaking is one of the top growing outdoor activities in the U.S. today.
Many people who have kayaks rarely have a convenient way of transporting them or a very suitable vehicle.
transporting kayaks in your vehicle can cause damage to both the kayak or your vehicle.
When you attach the kayak to the top or in the back of your vehicle, there's a chance it is not secured properly and you risk the kayak falling off.
The yak rack. The yak rack attaches to a hitch on the back of the vehicle to prevent damage to both the kayak and the vehicle. Along with this, there are cushioned shells for your kayaks that will be safe even when driving over rough terrains.
Our yak rack not only holds your kayaks, but is suited to hold paddleboards, surfboards, or other supplies you may need.
Our main customers will be people who enjoy kayaking. We also believe that the yak rack will encourage more people to take part in kayaking because of how convenient it makes them to transport. Even people with smaller vehicles will have an easier time traveling with them.
There are two variations of our product. One is the yak rack, which sells for $1,250 and holds 2 kayaks, while the double yak rack holds up to 4 kayaks and sells for $1,650.
Despite the different sizes, all variations do come with a secure place for your cooler at no additional cost.
However, if you already have a trailer, we are able to build the racks onto that. This would lower the prices to $350 for the single rack and $700 for the double rack.
Along with this, if you have additional items to transport, such as bikes or cornhole boards, we can discuss different accessories to add onto your yak rack at an added cost.
Another option that we have for your yak rack is a spare tire or tires that can be mounted onto your yak rack at an additional price.
The yak rack yields a profit of 48% with a cost of $650, while the double yak rack yields a profit of 55% with a cost of $750.
The single rack has a cost of $100 and the double rack has a cost of $200. Both of these make a profit of 71%.
For our add-on options, we have the bike rack, which holds up to 4 bikes and has a cost of $150 with a profit of 25%. A spare tire is another available option with a cost of $130 and a 25% profit margin.
The bar chart that you see here is a visual comparison of our costs and revenues.
Even my own family uses the yak rack. The yak rack that you see here is the one that my dad built custom for my family's needs. My family could not find a kayak trailer that fit our needs. So, with the help of my father, we took matters in our own hands, developed a new version of these kayak trailers, and created the yak rack.
We are currently unaware of any products that would meet the standards of the yak rack. Because kayaking has just become a recent trend, the concept of our product is a relatively new market that not many manufacturers have thought of yet.
There are other trailers made for kayaks, however, they are not able to be customized to the buyer's needs. In addition to this, other similar products are not as convenient and as safe as ours.
The following trailers and products that you see here are potential competition, quote unquote, that you can find on websites such as Amazon.
We want to be able to draw people's attention with the yak rack. We would like to find new ways to add on and customize our product for other people's specific needs.
We will continue to develop new ideas for merchandise like the products that you see in front of you to make the yak rack not just a product, but a lifestyle.
To start off our business, we will need up to $25,000. This investment will cover the cost of tools and the space we need to build the yak racks, along with additional manufacturing employees.
We plan to reach out to our local vocational school to find these welding and manufacturing employees.
Our goal for the upcoming year is to sell at least 30 units. This would more than double the sales we made in the past year and match our investment.
In the meantime, we will still be promoting the yak rack on Facebook and other forms of social media so that more people will know about our products.
In the future, we also hope to get into box stores such as Royal King and Tractor Supply.
So judges,
Put your yak on our rack. Thank you for your time. This is the Yak.
So, have you made sales already? Is that what you said?
Yes, as of now, we have made $9,000 in profit. We sold 13, 9 being single and 3 were double. And the other one was a custom single trailer. So the customer had a longer kayak than the normal one, so we added a $300 extension price.
I haven't heard you say anything about patents or any of that, anything associated with it. Have you looked into any of that to try to protect your product? Again, there are a lot of, quote, similar competition, I got that, but are there anything you're trying to do other than just be accessible to the market?
We have looked into it, but we do not have that information as of now, so we do not have a patent currently, but that is something we are looking into.
So you built this from scratch, or did you use another product?
Well, we buy the trailer parts and we build the trailers, and then we manufacture the wraps onto that. And if a customer already has their own trailer that they would like to use, they can bring that in, and then we mount the racks onto that, and we have created it, we developed it to where the racks are now bolted on, so that you can remove the racks and still have the use of your trailer.
So when you have structured your financials and the different products with the different costs have very high profit margins, and have you factored in the other expenses for running a company other than the cost of materials and like that? For example, with your $9,000 profit so far, having sold any, have you guys been able to pay yourselves anything?
We have not.
This is a good idea.
So when you say we, who in addition to yourselves, if anyone, is making these and doing the sales and all the rest of it?
We have one manufacturer right now, and that is my father. So he's the only manufacturer we have right now, but we plan to look into our vocational schools. That way we can create more jobs in the area and allow more jobs for those students when they come out of school.
Very good. Well, I like how you took judges' recommendations during the semifinals and incorporated it into your product. So that's fantastic. Thank you. So, thank you all very much.
Thank you.
Speaker? This is not going to be easy when we return to that room. This is a good point. Thanks. Technical difficulty. Unless that's your first slide, I think you need some. Here we go.
Have you ever been in class or in a business meeting and noticed that your phone was only on 13% and you weren't near an outlet to charge it? Wouldn't it be great if your daily cup of coffee could charge it for you? We are engineering students representing South Webster High School, and we have a solution for you. If it's not hard to put a drink on a coaster, then it's not hard to use Flow on the Go. My name is Haley Williams.
My name is Gavin Hanley.
I am Macy Johnson. My name is Skylar Ratcliffe, and we are Team Flow on the Go.
Our portable charging coaster, Flow on the Go, focuses on using thermoelectric energy. We use a Peltier towel to harness the thermal energy within a hot or cold beverage of your choosing. The Peltier towel then converts the thermal energy to electrical energy to charge your device. As you can see, we have used Autodesk Inventor to create a three-dimensional model of what we would like our product to look like. And through the technology of 3D printing, we have been able to make a plastic prototype of what we would like our final design to look like. Thanks to our engineering background, we had the skills to make our prototype a dream to a reality.
At Flow on the Go, we offer simple solutions to problems such as finding an outlet, having clean, eco-friendly energy, and conveniently charging a device. Our eco-friendly product is both portable and convenient. Simply place your beverage on top of the coaster, plug in your device, and leave it to charge.
Our initial target consumers would be high school students. High school students are constantly busy, in class, doing homework, or using their cell phones. Today, it is proven that 95% of teens worldwide have access to a cell phone or own one themselves. Of these students, half of them use the internet on a near constant basis. This has made teachers use cell phones in their classrooms by allowing students to pull up assignments, check their grades, and even use apps pertaining to their classroom instruction.
We developed our Flow on the Go idea when our school recently started selling hot beverages in the morning. We noticed that students would often leave these beverages on their desk to cool. Flow on the Go gives the use to this wasted energy. Students can give a boost to their phone battery while still having a positive impact on the environment.
We have already created a web page as well as an Instagram and Facebook account to make our product readily available. With a cost of materials per product is approximately $18. Selling Flow on the Go for a price of $49.99 creates a 64% profit. A portion of this profit will be used for the cost of manufacturing, marketing, and packaging.
The competition we are currently facing today comes from the many wall chargers available on the market today. These products have different options such as varying cord lengths to make them more convenient for their users. However, with Flow on the Go, no outlet is used, so you will never have that fear of being leashed to the wall while your phone charges. Our competition also comes from the many portable chargers on the market. However, you must charge these in advance before you can use them to charge your phone, and they contain a battery inside. According to the Environmental Protection Agency, Americans throw away more than 3 billion batteries each year, and of those thrown away, 14,000 tons are rechargeable. Flow on the Go is our attempt at reducing this number by creating a product that does not need any batteries to recharge your device. Consumers care more now than ever before about green industry, and we are here to provide a product that meets their requirements, considering 71% of Americans do consider the environment as a factor when shopping for a product. By using Flow on the Go, you too can make a positive impact on our environment right now.
We have already taken steps in the creation of Flow on the Go. As of today, we have completed extensive research and created our first prototype, along with designing our webpage. Our team has also met with Joe Schuster, an electrical engineer, who has agreed to mentor us through this project and provided us with a letter of endorsement saying that our technology is achievable. We have also done a patent search for our technology. We have seen that nobody has patented it, and we would love to patent it. We could propose a partnership with Apple, pitching a new, innovative, eco-friendly idea.
At this time, we'd like to open the presentation up for questions.
This is making me feel really old because when I was your age, I couldn't chew gum in school, let alone have a cup of coffee. I drink coffee two ways. I'm a big coffee drinker, and I'll either stop somewhere, Tim Hortons or Starbucks, and get a paper cup, and it's got the rim around the bottom, and I think it's designed so that it's not hot on the bottom. Or I'll put it in something like a thermos or a Yeti, some kind of tumbler, that's designed not to get hot on the outside. So I wonder if you've overcome those obstacles.
Well, our product is more engineered for like plastic water bottles or like McDonald's cups, where there's a good conductor in between the drink and the bottom of the drink.
So how long does this hold the energy? Is it, I have to drink coffee while I'm charging my phone, or is it something that you can store for a while?
Well, that's a great question. We hold the energy until the drink becomes room temperature. So it'll give your phone battery a boost until your drink becomes the same temperature as the room around you.
So, two fast questions. Is your prototype functional or just for design?
Right now, our prototype is just for design, but we do have a Peltier towel over here, and we can show you that if you place your hand on it, it does generate electricity. If you'd like to see that, I can show you.
Well, that's okay for time constraints. Fast second question. Have you guys done the calculations for how much energy at what temperatures and how long it takes to recharge a device?
We have not done those because those are really advanced for us, and we are just level 2 engineers right now.
And I think, doesn't the flow on the go, does it work with hot drinks as well as cold?
It does. It works with both hot and cold. You can flip them around or whatever. It works both ways.
Again, just until stuff is room temperature, until room temperature, so whatever's there.
Thank you all very much.
Thank you.
Good job. Nice presentation. So this receiving area makes it hard to catch up with judging. It is. Yeah, it's going to be Wow. I'm so small I couldn't do that. Nobody would believe it.
Hi, I'm Logan. I'm Gabby. And I'm Haley. I hold 4 state records in powerlifting.
And we are presenting to you the knee wrap crank.
As a powerlifter, I use these wraps in my everyday squatting sets. Now the problem is, when I'm done wrapping my knees, I unwrap my knees and I'm left with these ginormous bands that I have to roll back up by hand. Now the issue with that is they have to be extremely tight because I need that pre-extension to go with my leg for an extra grip and a better squat. It actually improves my 1 rep max.
Our solution to this issue is the knee wrap crank. Our knee wrap crank is a mechanical piece of equipment that we created to mechanically roll up your knee wraps. So first you insert it into, they're going to demonstrate the difference between mechanical and manual rolling. So first you have to insert your crank into the rack hole, and then you place your knee wrap onto the crank and start pulling your tension while turning the crank, which creates a really tight wrap. As you can see, Logan is over here in the corner. She's having a lot of trouble. It's very tight. She's getting frustrated. And nobody likes that. As you can see, Haley's almost finished with hers. And also this crank can also be used for things like voodoo bands or anything that has to do with PT.
When you're done, you simply drop it off, and you put a rubber band on it, and you're ready to go. Now this is tighter than I can make it by hand, and it's a lot neater and more efficient, but you guys don't feel that. And this is looking This right here is a rack that you would see in all of your local gyms. I am just using this piece of wood right here for presentation purposes because I can't bring a rack with me. Obviously it's bolted to the floor. But this is what you would use. You simply stick it in one of the adjustable holes like shown here.
Okay, so our customers are mainly powerlifters like Haley. Local gyms can also use it depending on their fitness program. And the picture on my left is Brooke Conley, and she is an OSU powerlifter. And we have contacted her, and she is very excited to use the knee wrap crank in the upcoming powerlifting season.
For our market, we have potential buyers already. We've talked to PSKC, and they referred us to a local gym. The local gym is called Diamond Strength Center, and we have an appointment with them Friday to sell our product.
What we would need is half-inch piping for the handle. We need a tapered steel bar so we can easily slip the wrap off at the end. We also need a bracket and a clamp.
So for our pricing and material, we paid $16 for our material, and we are profiting $23.95 from each individual knee wrap crank. So that means that each individual knee wrap crank is $39.95.
And there is currently no competition like ours. Ours is light, compact. You throw it in your gym bag, you take it with you, you go anywhere.
Okay, so our milestones to get here, we wanted to have a problem that was relatable to Haley and what was going on in her life at that time, and that is the knee wrap crank. And we wanted to keep it compact so she could take it with her. And we contacted a welder, and this is Gavin Traylor in the picture. And he was the person that welded our product, and after trial and error, the knee wrap crank came together.
So currently we are paying out of pocket, but we are looking for future sponsorship. And we'd be asking about $1,600. That would give us 100 of these knee wrap cranks to sell and start our business. In conclusion, we have created a product that helps me. It saves my time and frustration. I don't get tired in the gym anymore. And
we're waiting on potential buyers and sponsorships.
And we are profiting $23.95 from each individual knee wrap crank. Thank you for your time.
So have you guys done research into the size of the market? How many potential buyers are out there?
Yeah, we're assuming about 10% of people are actually in the gyms. And those people would be liable to use this because it is open to everything that you would use in a gym, like wrist wraps, knee wraps, and like voodoo bands for even physical therapy.
The person who did the welding, that's the manufacturer that you're, so moving forward with these 100 prototypes, that he's able to, or she is able to carry that load?
Yes, we have made our bonds with our laborers, and we will be, we would be using 12% of our production fee to pay our laborers. These are set in stone.
So this is very innovative, and I'm particularly interested. I'd never heard of knee wrap, so this is pretty awesome. Very cool. So what is preventing sort of the next welder down the street from copying this and doing? I mean, what kind of protection do you have?
I've written up a disclosure agreement, so every time we show our product to a gym to sell it or anything like that, we make them sign this agreement saying that they're not going to just copy our product and try to sell it themselves.
So have you looked into a patent?
Yes, we have. We have actually created our own patent, and this is it.
Okay.
So let's say it's a year from now, 2 months, and you've gotten the investment you needed and you sold the first 100 that you produced. What would you do next?
Our next steps would be, we would put back into our business and probably create a bigger facility to mass produce and probably open up to shipping and whatnot that comes with bigger businesses going worldwide.
Looks dangerous.
This is actually just a prototype, but we are open to making it better as we progress in our
You could
business.
use it as a weapon, though.
It's a self-defense
But you're a strong girl. I don't think you need any kind of weapon to tell you the truth. So, thank you all very much. Thank you.
My judges have a complaint. First set of teams are making it awful hard on them to decide. When the teams are presenting, just for politeness, please keep the whispering back and forth and the enthusiasm zero, because we're having a hard time hearing in the back. And I realize we're excited and we want to talk about our presentation to come. But I have John Paul Patterson here. He's going to beat you to death if you see him. She's a friend. Thank you. Handband.
Hi, I'm Peyton, and I have something wrong with my hand called Parsonage-Turner syndrome.
Hi, I'm Corey. I type a lot at work and my hands cramp up really bad.
Hi, I'm Kat. I play the piano, not well, but I do. As I said before, I have PTS. It attacks the brachial nerve in your arm that doesn't allow you to fully open and have full strength in your hand. I did go to physical therapy, but it wasn't beneficial at the time. If I would have had this product, I would have more strength than what I do now. As you see in the picture, it does show the neck nerve, but that neck nerve connects down to the brachial nerve.
Our problem is that the brachial nerve, no matter what you do, whether you type, whether you have a disease, or you play a piano or another musical instrument, you can have something wrong with the brachial nerve and it will become overwhelmed. Our solution is to create a brace product that has band attachments connecting from the wrist to the fingers. This is a prototype. We are waiting for our manufacturer to get back with us. All you have to do with this brace is just open and close. It's very simple, just open and close. The difference between a stress ball and this brace is with a stress ball, you work with the grip and the strength of that. This brace works with the release of your hand.
Okay, so our market for this product is $35 per package, so we get a $20 profit. In the package, it includes the brace that you see on Peyton's hand, and also 3 different bands: orange, gray, and blue, which is easy, medium, hard. So each time you go up a generation of bands, it's a different strength, so you're more likely to up your strength by going up a different generation. It also includes instructions on how to take off the band and attach them back on, and different exercises you can use.
People who would be interested in buying our product are patients who suffer from hand disorders such as PTS, carpal tunnel, and even hand and finger fractures. Approximately 8 million hand disorders are discovered just in the United States, and over 1 million hand fractures occur each year.
Continuing which customers would benefit from this, I know people who play musical instruments. A lot of times, you'll get something called a musician's cramp, which is a misfiring of signals from the brain to your hand, which leads it to be in an uncomfortable position. This will help with the musician's cramp in your hand. Our competition is, of course, some medications. However, some medications are very expensive, and the insurance will only cover so many. This is the same with physical therapy. This cheap handband is going to be cheaper than physical therapy.
We have been working with physicians such as Dr. Neil Evans and Dr. Eric Smith. They are highly interested in our product.
Our third one is April Johnson. She's a nurse practitioner at SMCER in terms of pediatrics. I've been in contact with her, and she is very interested in our product. And she's also written a letter of endorsement that Catherine will read part of.
I strongly suggest the use of hand bands to increase hand and finger strength. This product can be used as hand strengthening for physical therapy or work-related injuries or athletic injuries. It can also be used for a conditioning tool for athletes. It is also very affordable and very user-friendly.
Our plan is to continue working with nearby physicians to get our product out into the tri-state. Eventually, we would like to buy a warehouse to have some place to create our product.
In conclusion, there are many problems that arise in everyday life that concern your hands and the brachial nerve within it. We plan to remedy that situation with our Handtastic hand bands. Well, thank you, and your own purpose. Thank you.
So is this left and right to this?
Yes.
Left hand, right hand?
Yes.
So with a product like this, the interest of the physicians and the endorsement that you get is really valuable. Have you thought about engaging in some sort of clinical study to have a baseline measure and measure performance afterwards?
Actually, April Johnson, we had several patients use this, and the patients have reported the strengthening in their hand.
Have you been looking into a patent for this?
As far as patents are concerned, we have not. So as far as patents are concerned, we do not have the funds yet to take out anything. Really, we have the idea to take out a loan. However, we are looking forward to looking into a patent soon when we realize that maybe there is more demand for this and more interest in this in the community.
Tell me a little bit about your prototype development, your product development. How did you go about actually creating your prototype?
We did start out with just regular rubber bands. We wanted to work past that durability and use different strengths of rubber bands to determine what can be useful and what can't be useful. We have had multiple layouts of how we wanted this brace, and this was the best way that we have found for it to be.
So now the issue with the brachial nerve, does that just affect one hand, or can that affect both of your hands?
It can affect both of your hands. There is a nerve that connects to your brain that does lead down into your neck and spreads off into both arms, and that brachial nerve also connects to multiple other nerves in your hands and fingers.
So if someone had problems with both hands, they'd need to get two of these, or I guess it's a right hand and a left hand model.
It does work with both hands. I have personally tried it to see what what fingers it will attach to. I'm sorry.
She has used it with both hands and it has been successful.
Just a quick comment. As a similar I made earlier, the apparel industry is a mature industry. I would highly encourage you, if you get this patented, to focus on actually having it manufactured and not do it yourself. There's just a lot of efficiencies there, but you get the patent protection that you need, that they won't steal your ideas. But it's a great product. Thank you.
The innovation is on the inside about release rather than grip, and it would be cool if there was some science behind the difference between and therefore the importance of. So that's a really valuable frame.
Very good, thank you all.
Thank you.
Careful the grip.
Yeah.
Good job.
Thank you.
Good job. Oh, our wires, right? Yeah.
I was
Great, thank you. Wow, that is a lot.
I'm Lauren Albrecht.
I'm Jaden Hurkett.
I'm Luke Rodbell.
And we're Go Nuts.
Go Nuts is a tri-state traveling concession stand that provides the sweetest treats at any holiday event.
We believe that over the years, people have not gotten the full holiday experience.
At Go Nuts, we help this by providing warming materials, snacks, and things to make your day better.
We provide our own delicious glazed nuts and other treats such as cupcakes, hot chocolate, coffee, and water. There are glazed almonds in front of you for you to try.
The warming materials we have are hot hand warmers. Also, to help children have more fun, we sell glasses that make lights look like cool characters.
Our glasses are also in front of you to look through.
Go Nuts first set up in December of 2018 at Portsmouth, Ohio Winterfest.
This Winterfest was a holiday festival put on by the committee, Friends of Portsmouth.
Our business lenders, the Nicholas family, gave us a business loan of $9,000.
The money was loaned for our location, equipment, and supplies.
Our resale products were pecans, almonds, peanuts, hot chocolate, and coffee.
We bought our products from a range of 37 cents to $2.49.
Our products sold from $2 to $6. We have an average profit margin of 62% on each sale. These margins were proven to boost our profit.
Overall, we spent $4,069 on these products to start our business.
We rented the shed to sell out of for $1,500.
For all of our equipment, we spent $3,671.
This year, we had total sales of $11,002. After paying back a portion of our startup loan and this year's operational cost, we had a net profit of $3,838.
Over the next 3 years, we are projecting a 20% increase in each sale based on the growing popularity of Portsmouth Winterfest and expansion to other festivals.
We anticipate our profits in each of the next 3 years to increase as the business grows and our startup loan is paid off in 2021.
Not only do we want to run a profitable business, but we want to give back to our community.
We plan to donate 10% of our future profits to the Friends of Portsmouth to support the efforts in our city.
This will also help grow the event and the number of customers for our concession stand.
We target our products towards the people who attend the holidays event looking for a good experience. Our main customers tend to be families.
A lot of people buying our product tend to have younger children with them.
At Portsmouth Winterfest, we rented a shed and set up our materials.
To start our business, we use tools such as a water dispenser, a nut machine, coffee machines, products to resell, and plenty of cleaning supplies.
Having all these tools is what kept our customers coming.
We make sure our employees have great customer service, which was a good factor that kept our customers coming back.
Luckily, we have not seen any competition that specializes in holiday concessions like we do.
We have seen regular fair food trucks.
At Portsmouth Winterfest, there's a fair food truck set up next to us selling things like funnel cakes, hot dogs, corn dogs, and other fair foods, but nothing like the holiday foods we specialize in.
We hope to start the trend of bringing more businesses like ours to holiday festivals.
We are a breakthrough business serving the new and growing holiday festival events.
The Nichols family invested in a multi-year investment, so we are hoping to pay them back and increase our profit.
We are hoping to gain enough revenue to buy a food truck to expand our business.
Buying a food truck would save money so we wouldn't have to rent a shed at all locations. It'd also make traveling around the tri-state a whole lot easier.
We plan to take our business to Ashland, Kentucky's Winter Wonderland of Lights Festival, Gallipolis Holiday Lights, Columbus Zoo Lights, and many of other places.
Judges, we appreciate the opportunity to present our business to you. We would like to thank you and hope that you go nuts over our holiday concessions.
I'm just wondering why just holidays? Why not the rest of the year?
There are there's a lot of competition like for fairgrounds and things like that in summer. And we as a group decided that holiday festivals were lacking. There was only one other, it was our stand at the Winterfest and then a fair food truck. And that just showed us that this was lacking. So we just want to specialize in this and bring the best experiences we can.
So what are you going to do the rest of the year?
We're going to promote our business, work on growing more clientele and more people to sell to, and other places to travel as well.
So you talked about a food truck being the next phase. So explain to us the process of that decision. What certain number of sales? How are you going to know when it's time to invest in that truck?
We're hoping to maybe find someone to help us, someone to invest and help us buy this truck. But if not, then it will take a few years. But as we get to go to more holiday festivals, hopefully we'll make more money, and by at least 2 years we'll have enough money to make.
Along with that, yeah, if we don't have a truck, we would try to rent out places at other places as well. And then each profit, we have a 62% profit margin each sale, and then we take a portion of that and a small portion of that and set it aside for food trucks. So over the years it would raise up, so we'd have that eventually, yes.
Do you have any interest in exploring wholesale distribution with grocery stores, convenience stores, local bars and restaurants?
Yes, actually there's a lot of local places like Jets Popcorn that has little racks set up in stores in Portsmouth. We would like to talk to small businesses along Market Street all over town to get a set for us that just has our nuts in them, and then cupcakes and everything we sell as well.
And is there anything signature or proprietary or distinctive about your products versus others that could imitate or copy? In other words, what makes your nuts better?
So we've only had 1 year of running this, and it was set up in Winterfest, and we luckily like I said, we had no competition there. So if that's something we have to go on to the next competition and see more competition like that, that's something we have to think about. But as the last one and then other we plan on doing Winterfest year after year, and we have not had competition there, so we have not had to look at that yet.
Is there anything special that you do in the preparation and the delivery of the product, or are you counting on the gaps that you see in the marketplace and the customer service and being there?
Yeah. A lot of our thing is, like she said, I mean, we want everywhere to just be friendly. And a lot of places, I've been to a lot of food places that are very, not the nicest. And we've had a lot of clientele at Portsmouth Winterfest, and hoping that we've had them, that we've delivered the best we can with the safest and cleanest environment that they could see in the shed. That shows them that we take care of it and we're nice, and that they obviously want to come back for it because we sold multiple things to multiple people.
Maybe I can elaborate on John's question. Is there a special recipe that you use for?
No, it's a recipe that there's actually a place in Ashland Mall that sells Bavarian nuts, and it's the same one.
So you just get their nuts, use those, or?
No, not theirs. We buy from the wholesaler.
We made these ourselves.
Yeah, we didn't. Yeah, those are ours. We made them. We actually have the nut machine and all the products that go into it. We actually make them. We made those today. But no, we don't use theirs. We buy from the wholesaler.
So what kind of interest rate are you paying on that loan?
We don't have one with them. It's just a straight.
You just have to pay the money back.
Yeah, just the money back. We do not have to have any of those.
That's hard to compete with.
So let's move on. I don't think I can do anything better than that. So, thank you all very much.
I'm Hunter Fryer. I'm Ethan Thomas.
And I'm Eli Thomas. And we're from Paul G. Blazer High School.
And we are Project Renaissance. Now, Renaissance needs rebirth, and a very major issue in our local tri-state area is substance abuse. And I'm willing to bet that everyone knows someone in this room, maybe not in this room, but you may know someone who's battling drug addiction or has even overdosed and died. I know personally that my own mother just recently, back in May, actually passed away of a drug overdose.
Both of our uncles have sadly overdosed on heroin, and I've been abused in my own home by someone who was on a substance.
Now, the solution that we've came up with is our two-part system of our app Renaissance, which I am currently in the making and programming, and also our Phoenix Watch.
We currently have a rough prototype of what we want the smartwatch to look like. It would roughly look like this, just any other smartwatch, because we don't want it to draw attention as a label. In a sense, you know, you don't want to label it as if you have our watch, you are labeled as a recovering drug addict or even a still drug addict. So it will look like any other watch.
And some of the functionalities of the app actually that are foretold is actually it'll have educational information to help better equip you about the certain drugs that's going on in your body and also aspects of your life. So you're better equipped to go along your journey and get the help that you need. It'll also have a dialing system for help tracking your drug usage.
It'll also have inspirational videos and stories from people who have walked in your same shoes and who have come on the other side a healthier and better person. It also will give you contact information to local rehab centers and also other places for help.
Now, the kind of system that we have in place today is that if you overdose, either first responders have to find you or someone has to find you. And the cool part about our watch is that it'll have a heart rate sensor that'll always be monitoring it. And if it notices your heart rate gets 40 beats or lower, or notice an irregular heartbeat, that's the danger zone of an overdose. And it'll automatically alert an ambulance.
But obviously no technology is perfect, so there will be a failsafe just in case if there is not an emergency, you can, obviously say no. Our target customers are local rehab centers, our local tri-state governments, and anybody who is on a substance and needs help and can't do it alone. Our market. We will sell the app on the Google Play Store as well with the Apple App Store. The watch will be sold at local rehab centers, on our website, which is projectrenaissance.net, and also through our local tri-state governments. The Phoenix watch will be sold for $49.99 because it's roughly estimated $15 to make. We have actually got, we've talked to Pathways, and we have got a customer in a sense that they have said that they will for sure buy our product when we do get our dream up and running. But at least half the amount of people who overdosed in the U.S. alone, which was 72,000 people, got our Phoenix watch, we would make a sole profit over $1.2 million, and that's a net profit. That's what we would get in hand.
The watch's competition is Apple, Samsung, and Fitbit, but what makes our watch better than theirs is that it's an affordable price of $49.99, and it also looks similar to other watches to not draw attention.
Now, some of the strategic milestones that we need to accomplish, if you guys do help us get our dream up and running, we plan on saving a lot of people's lives. And some of the steps that we need to take is that we need to hire a programmer to help integrate the app and watch together, as well as we're actually in contact with a smartwatch manufacturer at this moment that's going to help us mass produce and market our product, which, like he said, we're actually in contact with the GM of Pathways Substance Abuse Department that said he would buy our product if we get it up and running.
Also, we have also talked to our local governments as far as the Ashland, that's where we're from, Ashland commissioners. We went to a commissioner meeting and they absolutely loved it. They said they backed us completely. And we also went down to Frankfurt last week and we talked to Rocky Atkins, Senator Robin Webb, and Representative Terry Brown Clark. As of last month, we had developed both the app and watch prototypes. So by this month, we hope to find funding, hire a software developer, hire a hardware manufacturer, and we have created a website along with a Facebook page. So by May, we hope to have a fully functioning app and watch, so by June we can finally open up for business online. So by October, we can mass produce our product and start seeing revenue. Here are a few pictures that we took at Frankfurt with Rocky Atkins and Representative Terry Brown Clark. I'm Hunter Fryer. I'm Ethan Thomas.
And I'm Eli Thomas, and we're from Paul G. Blazer High School.
And we are Project Renaissance. Now, I'm willing to bet, like I said, everyone knows someone, a mother, a father, a sister, a brother, a son, a daughter, someone close to you that you may look up to that's battling a drug addiction. And I know personally that with that heart rate sensor, because like I said, the system that has in place today is that someone has to find you, right? And they actually found my mother 15 hours after she had already passed away. Whereas if she may have had that watch, she'd probably still be alive today.
Thank you.
Thank you. And we would actually like to give you some pamphlets and such, because Project Renaissance
yes.
is a lifesaver.
We have our pictures and an article that we were in the newspaper, along with our pamphlet.
Yeah, because we actually presented this same thing to the city of Ashland, and they loved it. They said the city manager said we had the full backing, which is right there on the newspaper.
So I don't know if you all saw the paper today, but there was an editorial in the Daily Independent, and the Daily Independent declared you all heroes for this project.
That is insane.
Because it's such a big problem in our area.
Yeah,
so,
yes, ma'am.
I mean, that's a huge compliment. So get a
And
copy
you-
of the paper.
And if you think about it, like how we came up with this, like our own experiences.
Right.
But like when you invent something, you find a problem, and you make it a way to fix it.
And we are currently in the works of a patent, and I
Yes.
have been in contact with people who help us get patents and stuff, and that is in the works as of right now.
And we forgot to mention this, but we've actually been marketing this on Facebook.
Yes.
And we have like 1,000 people, because we've been advertising.
Yeah, 1,000 people have seen it, and we have
100
roughly 100 likes so far, and this has only been up for a week today.
So I have a quick question for you. It seems like there's two functionalities behind your product.
Yes.
One is the life alert early warning system, and the second is the educational, inspirational, and guideline thing. And with regard to the latter, have you done any research about the importance of that content in accelerating, preserving recovery?
Yeah, actually, because we've done a lot of research ourselves, and when we met with the GM of Substance Abuse and Pathways, we started talking. He told us about some apps that we should check out, and we checked out some of them, and the kind of information they have, just to let them know that they're not alone in this path, that we're there for them, to help them.
I really like what you've done so far, but I keep on thinking that what prevents people from taking the watch off when they feel like they have lost control, and you're addicted. Usually that's the case. That you just
Well, the whole point of the watch is to help you. It's not to force you to wear it. This is if you want to. Usually when you come out of a rehab center, you usually go back into the same environment that you were as when you went in. So this is more of as a reminder to stay on that path and keep the same goal. It isn't to force you to wear it. It's more of a voluntarily sort of thing.
Yes.
Because you can't recover unless you want to. You
Yeah.
have to want to do it.
And you gotta think about it, like, if you're high, you're doped up, you don't know what's going on, you don't know where you are, and once it notices that your heart rate's going down and down, because not a lot of people know this, but an overdose can last anywhere from 30 minutes to multiple hours, which is insane.
Thank you all very much.
Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. This is Abigail Patterson.
This is Hunter Humphreys,
And this is John Higgins.
and we are here to present the Forgive Me Not. One evening, I went to Olive Garden with my family. We had a wonderful time. It was fun. We left, and we were happy and stress-free. All of a sudden, I kind of ran my tongue over my teeth and realized I had forgotten my brand new retainers. I told my parents, and we rushed back to the restaurant, only to find our table had already been cleaned off, and another family was seated there. We talked to the manager, and we looked through the trash, we looked through the napkins, we looked through everything we could find, only to not find my retainers. So I had to replace those retainers, and retainers can cost anywhere from $200 to $500. My mother looked at me and said, Abigail Patterson, you forgot your retainers at that table, but there is no way on this earth you would have forgotten your phone. And that's where the inspiration struck for the Forgive Me Not. The Forgive Me Not is an attachment to the back of your phone that is connected to a cinch bag. In this cinch bag, you can fit any small important items you may need, whether it's retainers, jewelry, or even things such as earbuds.
We took into consideration your concern about whether or not once the device is on the phone, how easily can it be taken off. So we created this version of the Forgive Me Not that can easily be snapped on and off at the convenience of the user without being semi-permanently attached.
There are products that are similar to ours, such as the zero-grid phone wallet, but they are meant to hold things like a small amount of cash or a credit card or two, not necessarily what the Forget Me Not could.
The Forgive Me Not makes small bags and purses obsolete. Our target customers include anybody with a cell phone, as well as a retainer, jewelry, or other valuable objects.
By raise of hands, how many people in the audience know exactly where their cell phone is right now?
The goal of Forgive Me Not is to use people's dependencies on their phone in order to help them keep track of their valuable objects at all times.
We plan on selling our product on both our website and Amazon in order to reach as many target customers as possible. The Forgive Me Not will cost the consumer $9.95 to purchase, but it only costs us $5 to produce. At Ironton High School, we conducted a survey and found that 82% of the participants said if our product was readily available, they would purchase it. In fact, we have already sold 15 units, making a profit of $74.75 with a waiting list of 25 people.
Now, as I said, there is competition, such as those rubber phone wallets you see on the back of so many phones today. And there are also companies such as Tile and Pixie, which are pictured here. Now, they make either keychains that go on your keys or something you can stick in the pocket of a wallet. Those are connected to an app which help you find your items. Now, that can't necessarily help you find your retainers whenever you lose them, or your jewelry if you've forgotten your earrings in a locker or something. So the Forget Me Not is able to be used for many more things than these products are.
The first phase of our operation was to finalize our design and get our prototypes made and tested. We are now on phase 2 of the operation, where we are currently getting our website operational through Wix, and we are currently signing our initial batch of 60 units to reach our goal of $597. From there, we can move on to phase 3 of our operation, where we can more accurately place our supply and demand to successfully outsource our product to mass manufacturing.
Our most important strategic milestone is registering for both a trademark and a patent for our company and our product. We are also looking into allowing our customers to review our product so that way we can make improvements on it. We're already working very closely with one of our sponsors, and we are looking to sell our product in their place of business and receive 100% of the profit. We're working with all of our sponsors in order to use the money from this competition and from our sales in order to get better equipment and materials.
And so, to tie it off,
The Forgive Me Not will save you time.
In a survey conducted by the Pixie Company, people waste on average 60 hours a year looking for their valuables. It will also save you money.
in that same survey done by the Paisley Company, it was found that $2.7 billion were spent in America simply on lost items alone. It will also save you stress.
Over half of those same people surveyed said that they were regularly late to score work simply because they had forgotten something.
So whether you're an athlete who has to take your earrings off before a big game, or a man who goes into a factory and has to take off his wedding ring, everyone has these small important items that they don't want to lose. So remember, don't let it be an afterthought. Get yourself a forget-me-not. Thank you.
So I'm reminded of like a distinction between an elegant design that really solves a problem and user experience where they don't really, behave in the way in which you predict. And so on the one hand, I have to remember to put my valuables into the pouch. How am I going to remember that? And secondly, my phone is almost always in a very narrow pocket.
Mm-hmm.
And the pouch is harder to carry. Have you tested people's experience in using it and gotten feedback from people on a day-to-day kind of basis?
That is currently the stage we are in. As we are selling our initial batch of 60, it is to people who are close to us. So friends and family, people like that. So that way we can easily receive feedback from whether or not it is more difficult to carry around and
whether we need to either move to a different material or whether we need to come up with a different solution altogether. And we have found that this pouch, while it does make your pocket a little bit more bulkier, it doesn't necessarily mess up how you would still stick your phone in your pocket or something like that.
As you test it with people who don't love you.
So let's assume it's successful and really goes the way you expect. Where would you anticipate this would be in, say, 5 years?
We are hoping to, as you can see, a while ago, even shorter as 2 years ago, these rubber phone wallets were pretty much non-existent. I had never seen any of them until kind of recently, actually. So as we are advertising our product and more people start buying it, we would like for it to be as big as those rubber phone wallets you see on so many phones.
I'd like to add something to that. The sponsor that we're working with is the Make It Yours t-shirt company, and we chose to try to partner up with them because they could customize these at the shop. That's why they're selling it there, because that might drum up business for them too. So that's why we're working very closely with them.
And sales so far?
So far, we have sold 15 units at $9.95 a piece. That roughly brought us to $149.25. And since it only cost us $5 to produce, we have made a profit of $74.75 so far. And even adding the adjustable snap-on that we purchased concerns from last time hasn't raised our profit margin. It hasn't decreased our profit margin because we left a lot of space in there for us to change our design.
I would have a question on the durability.
Okay.
I don't know if after repeated usage, if you are sliding it in and out of a wall or of a pocket with the really the thin stitching on here, whether it would wear out at some point in time, then you lose something.
Okay, yeah, we will definitely take that into consideration. As we said, this is more of a recent prototype, so we are still working on getting feedback from that product and necessarily for long-term use, because we took that into consideration from the judges who said that this might be a problem last time. So we haven't had as much time to work with feedback for that product.
Great, thank you all.
Thank you.
Yes, indeed.
Can you fix their computer for me?
All work. Okay, you stand for everything, not electronics.
I got that.
Hi judges, I'm Nathan Wygan.
Caleb Deerfield.
Trevor Darnell. I'm Troy Atworth. Your toilets that run, your faucets that don't, the window too tight, and that busty light.
The gutter that leaks and the door that creaks.
Don't despair,
Call Ready Repair.
So the reason behind our company is my dad is blind. Sometimes can't do simple home maintenance, just the little things like on his honey-do list. So our company would step in and help him do anything from picking up groceries to just minor home repairs.
Problem and solution. Our company is always ready to go to anywhere of your choice. Our company's main goal here is to do your chores that you cannot do around your house. Example, if you know an elderly person that can't pick down and pick their weeds or pick up sticks, that's where our company comes into play.
So this is a list of our services straight off of our website that we have created. So we have everything from lawn care to the general maintenance around your house. If you can think of it, we can do it.
So this is our price list. So for our first consultation, if you don't know what's going wrong, we'll come check it out for free. Obviously, if we do some work though, we're going to have to charge you some money. So that's just a standard $30 an hour fee. We also have a monthly service plan. So if you choose the 1 to 6 months option, it's going to be $230, saving you roughly $10 a month. And for 7 to 12 months, it's going to be $220 per month, saving you $20.
So our payment options. So right now, our customers that we have already serviced are paying in cash, but we would like to utilize a device called Square that would plug into our customer's phone, and they would swipe their card and we'd be able to pay easier than what it would be for cash. And we would also like to, just as a precaution, just to make sure that we don't get scammed, we are going to charge you up front for the first hour. That's just to make sure that everyone's getting what they need.
Ready repair, ability, and range. The max amount given to a client will be 3 hours until we can expand into a bigger company. And we will charge 50 cents per every mile traveling to get to the client, and it'll be $2.50 per every 5 miles. And we will make sure that we can reimburse all our employees for travel time, gas, and mileage until we expand into a bigger company. And that's what we'll do now.
The employees, as all of you judges know for sure, that employees is a big part of your company. That's why here at Ready Repair, we will focus on our employees being trained in specific fields of work. Example, you need your grass cut or your weed eater done. That's what we're coming to play. So, grass cut, we're going to bring our best grass cutter to come to your house. Other employees that are not trained in specific fields of work will do your basic chores around your house. And we will also run background checks on all of our employees.
So our next steps, we would like to branch our company into a bigger franchise. So right now we have our office here, not here, but in Franklin Furnace. And from there, we can only reach 3 hours. So if we can have regional offices around the country, then we can get to a wider range of people. We would also like to develop an app. So this app would work kind of like Uber. So we would post, they would post a job on there. We would send someone out that we think is the most qualified to do your job, and everyone gets what they need.
So this is the main page of our website. In the upper left-hand corner, you have other ways you can contact us, including our contact slide. You have our phone and our email, and then there's just a basic list of services. The contact us slide, as seen here, right there in the big bold red, is our phone number. And then there's a simple form you fill out with your name, your phone number, and the job you'd like us to do. It gets sent straight to our company's email address, and we send people out from there. Thank you for listening to our presentation. We are Ready Repair. If you have any further questions, feel free to ask or visit our website, readyrepair.com. Thank you very much.
So do you have insurance?
That was the question we were asked last time. So I talked to
I wasn't here last time.
Well, we've talked to an insurance agent about and just basically an industrial maintenance company, and some people we know who own an industrial maintenance company. It costs approximately $2,000 a year, which is what your investment would be used for.
So tell me the process for scheduling work. So you get these calls in. Do you have a system in place right now, or how do you know who's sending the best grass cutter, the best weed eater? How do you manage the calls now?
So as a technological advisor, I have head over our email right now. So when somebody fills out this form right here, it's sent straight to the email. Sorry. But it gets sent straight to the email, and so I will read that, and then right now it's just us four. So whichever one of us is suited best for the job, we'll contact them and we'll send them out to your hub.
So how many clients do you have right now?
Currently we have 10 clients. They all, well not all, but 6 of them are repeat customers. So total profit so far we've made about $350.
So what happens when you have 50 and you're only 4 guys?
See, this is where our franchising would come in. So by that time, we are hoping to have gained enough money where we can have regional offices and have more employees and more people to do the job.
So have you looked into the franchising model and know what it takes to create a franchise?
So currently, like I said, it's just the 4 of us. So the only operational cost is obviously insurance, and then what we would reimburse our clients, which is what the IRS rate is used for. And other than that, we use all our own equipment. Further on, once we make more profit, we'd like to buy bigger, better equipment. But for right now, all costs except for insurance are paid for.
So let me put it this way. Why would a group of 4 people in another community need to have a relationship with you in order to conduct the business that you're conducting?
Sorry, sir, can you repeat the question?
Yeah. So in a franchise, what you do is you turn your business into a turnkey and have operating procedures. You guys did a lot of thought about operations, HR policy, and how to do. And the question about scheduling work was an idea that said, well, maybe you've got a proprietary and quick and easy scheduling system. If you're going to franchise, the folks that want to start up a business like yours in another community would need you guys for something. And that's usually like the secret sauce, the brand, the confidential operating manual, the how-to, something like that. Otherwise, they could just do it on their own and they don't need you. So if you want to expand through a franchising, what's the value you offer another group of 4 in another community?
So obviously, pay. So we pay our employees half of what we earn. So we earn $30 an hour, so an employee gets 15 of that. So it's way more than the $8.15 or $8.30 an hour you get working at McDonald's. So it obviously is an incentive. Our employees get paid more, but also it's just something to help out your community.
So he's an expert in franchising, so you should go and get free advice from him.
Yeah, well, we'll be talking to him after.
Yeah,
You got a business card?
Thank you all very much.
Thank you.
I know, I got it.
Good presentation.
Good job. Yeah. Thank you.
Hey, there's a person out that comes back.
Oh, yeah, I feel a little sick.
Hi, I'm Katie.
I'm Megan.
And I'm Taylor. And when we clean,
we clean great.
My brother suffers from horrible allergies and a mild case of asthma because of the horrible chemicals that are in our air every day, causing my family to clean green. If we did not have these green cleaning supplies, we would be on countless doctor's appointments and he would be on breathing treatments for months on end. This is a huge reason as to why we clean green.
So the problem is that most people use traditional cleaning products in their homes, which have harsh chemicals, which are bad for the environment and also bad for the people that live in the homes. We are the solution to that problem because we will come into your home while using green cleaning products, so ridding your home of harsh chemicals, while also bettering your home from maybe like an allergic reaction or something like that that you would have to the harsh chemical product.
Our target customers are environmentalists, people who are transitioning to become eco-friendly, and individuals who suffer from respiratory and/or allergy conditions. Our market. To get as much information out as possible, we will be using social media, flyers, and trusting the word of mouth. Our initial startup is $500, and with our mass supplier, we hope to get many promotions and use discount codes. On average, we spend anywhere from 4 to 5 hours per home, resulting in an $80 to $100 profit, considering that we charge $20 per hour.
So our competition, there are 23 housekeepers in the Portsmouth, Ohio area. They charge around $11.25 per hour. Well, we charge $20. However, our customers allow us to do this because we use green cleaning products, which in turn are ridding their homes of chemicals, bettering the environment, and just make us all around a better choice compared to the basic cleaners in the area.
Our strategic milestones. Operating the first year, we will be using our green cleaning products, like my friend here, Megan, is going to show you. Operating the first year, like I said, for initial startup is $500, and from our mass supplier, we will be buying in bulk. We are in contact with an insurance company called People's Choice, and that is to get in contact with liability, and we do have many quotes from the insurance company today.
So our next steps, while it's currently just us 3 cleaning homes, in the future we would like to purchase an office and hire more employees so we can expand to farther areas than just local and get more customers and hopefully decrease the carbon footprint that we are making on the planet.
The products that we will be using are from 7th Generation, a company that sells only green products. We have also tested and compared them to traditional products, and they do leave less chemical residue. Our established customers, we have saved 20 homes from the harsh chemicals, resulting in a $1,000 profit after we have already bought products again from 7th generation. We have rid 15 homes of harsh chemicals, and we have 5 repeat customers. With these 5 repeat customers, it not only helps the air that they have in their home every day, but it also lessens our carbon footprint, meaning that's less harsh chemicals in our air today that everybody breathes in our tri-state area. And we are GC Cleaning Services.
So I heard you talk about the products that you evaluated, the harsh chemicals, but the green cleaning product industry is actually pretty robust industry. So how did you, tell me how you went through a process to come to this green product as opposed to the countless other green products that are out there on the shelf?
We found this to be best for our company because it helps suit what the allergies that we find to be most common in everyday households that many people have. This not only leaves a longer residue that helps promote healthier air every day, but it also lessens the amount of chemicals that have been past used by the family themselves.
So you guys have a very crowded competitive field, and your competitors have a lower price. You have a premium price for a premium service. Therefore, marketing and branding is the most important part of implementing your business. What kind of marketing campaigns? How do you identify and promote the brand? Your differentiator is the green products. How will you communicate that to your target customers?
With our target customers, we are working to promote a website, and we do have a selection choice of what you can use for us to clean your home. With our product, we will disclose in the website that how this is going to help promote your family.
How do you get them to visit your website?
Through social media?
Yeah, through social
Word
media.
of mouth.
Word of mouth, flyers, business cards, and we would even like to expand to commercials one day to even get a wider range to have a better company throughout our whole nation.
This may be the question that comes down there sometimes. So what do you see this in 3 years, 5 years?
In 3 to 5 years,
Sorry.
long-term plans, we do want this to get very big because right now, a global average of people knowing about green products is about 45%, while 58% are willing to pay to have a more eco-friendly home.
But do you see it getting big by
Yes.
just you guys, or
Yes.
are you getting, again, you looking to expand
Yeah, we do
beyond?
want to look to expand across the nation, and with that, to promote all across the board, we want to open up more stores that promote us and our business throughout the whole nationwide area, and hopefully even one day to promote globally.
So you're charging about $8 more per hour because you're using these products.
Yes.
What prevents me from buying the product and giving to my usual cleaner and give them $11?
Yes. For that, we have found that it's a lot harder for an average cleaning company to switch to more eco-friendly because it's going to cost them a lot more to start a new almost business from the ground up because they have to.
No, I'm buying this stuff,
Yeah.
I'm giving them to them. I say, you don't use your stuff, use my stuff.
You can do that. That's another thing that we have to look forward to.
Yeah.
Having more competition in the future. Right now, there's no one that is willing to do that. We have had many statistics and tests went out, but no one has done that yet. Right now, our green products are cheaper because there's not many people in our world and even nation now that are willing to be eco-friendly. That's why we wanted to be eco-friendly to help our area.
Thank you. Thank you all very much.
Thank you.
Sorry, I was going to get out of here with that. Sorry.
Good evening.
Our company is Griffiths Gold, commercial honeybee farm and agribusiness company. The average American eats about 1.5 pounds of honey a year.
Honey production has risen 9% in the last year.
Bees pollinate over 70% of the world's agriculture.
Last year alone, bee pollination contributed over $19 billion to the U.S. economy. So you might be wondering, what is all the buzz about? Well, I'm Josh Griffith, owner and operator of Griffiths Gold, and this is my hive.
Hello, my name is Joe Ewan. I'm the financial manager of Griffiths Gold.
Hi, my name is Pierce Rice, and I'm the marketing manager.
Our mission is to protect our environment by replenishing the threatened bee population while supporting our community and croplands with our organic honey products and agribusiness services. Our company will educate consumers on the importance of bees, fostering a positive social, environmental, and economic influence in Graham County and beyond.
Okay, we will specialize in services that include agribusiness, the sale and packaging of bees and supplies, farm-to-table initiatives, and protecting our environment by increasing the honeybee population.
Some of the problems that we face are the decline of North American and worldwide bee populations in recent years, mainly due to colony collapse disorder. 30% of the world's crops and 90% of all plants require pollination. More than 10 million beehives were wiped out between 2007 and 2013 alone. Honeybees are vital to our environment and ecosystem. Bees are an indicator of environmental quality, which means that if bees start dying off, something is going wrong with our environment. And aging beekeepers, the average age of a beekeeper is over 60 years old.
Okay, so most of the diseases can be prevented through monitoring of the beehive, and beekeeping promotes the well-being of the bees, which also supports the health of our environment.
Our target market are consumers of the commercial honeybee farm products and those who benefit from the business of bee farming and honey production industry. Every household consumes products from commercial bee farms. We've talked with a representative from Kentucky Proud and are in the process of having our application approved. Kentucky Proud is the official Kentucky State marketing program for agricultural products, and we'll be consulting with the Kentucky Department of Agriculture marketing specialist to help market our product and display the Kentucky Proud logo. For a marketing concept, we contacted the Buffalo Trace, Jim Beam, and Jack Daniels Bourbon Distillery Companies, which are part of the Kentucky Bourbon Trail, to obtain age-charred white oak whiskey barrels to store our honey in and able to obtain whiskey-flavored honey. We've also contacted the Savannah Bee Company, and they sell specialty honey from select regions, and such as bourbon-flavored honey. We also having discussions with local microbreweries and craft beer makers about using our honey in their craft beers, and local buyers such as Rural King, who just lost their honey supplier, Tractor Supply Company, John Deere, and selling our products in their stores.
Okay, our other competitors would be beekeepers and equipment suppliers, but however, these commercial bee farms and suppliers are not located in our surrounding area.
This is a sample apiary's cost worksheet for the purchase of 10 beehives and supplies to get our company up and running. We are asking for $6,000 in startup money.
We are currently in the process of developing a logo and also a website. With proper funding, we can purchase 10 hives. We have 2 hives in operation. We can split them this season for 4 hives, which will double honey production, products, and services. We have already pre-sold $400 of honey this season.
But it's not just about the honey, it's also about the agribusiness. For instance, the country's largest pollinator event is the fertilizing of California's almond trees. Given the widespread bee loss, California's almond growers are almost unable to pollinate their crops, and they are only able to get it through an intense nationwide push to get them enough bees. The USDA estimates there are 1 million almond acres in California that can only be pollinated by honeybees. In 2018, that crop was approximately 117 million acres. 1.9 million bee colonies were used in the pollination event, and to get this, the almond farmers would actually rent a tractor trailer load of bees for about $80,000 for a 3-month period. They would then harvest the honey from these rented hives, grossing approximately $160,000 from selling that honey. We see ourselves being able to add this to our service in about 5 years. Albert Einstein once said, if bees were to disappear from the globe, mankind would only have 4 years left to live. Thank you. And now,
This is your honey. That's okay.
Everything's done.
So, how long is the harvest season?
It's pretty much up until, depending on the weather and your location. So the earlier that the winter starts to come, you need to start letting your bees have some honey. We're going to be able to start robbing honey from our hives in probably a month or a month and a half soon. And that'll go up depending upon the weather when the bees start needing to shelter down. So it can go up pretty far into the year.
And how much honey can you produce with 10 hives, and how much money can you generate off the sales of those?
Well, each hive produces approximately 40 pints of honey, and with 10 hives, that would gross us about $4,000 per year.
So when you began, the problem that I thought you were addressing was the challenge to the bee population, the need to replenish the bee population, but that's not the solution you're selling. What you're selling is honey and pollination. And so what makes your honey distinctive in the market where other honey producers are present, and what makes your pollination services distinctive as well?
Well, the pollination services themselves aren't as distinctive as bees. Bees are pretty much universal. However, the honey from this region is actually exceptionally rare, as there's, I think it's a white elm tree. It only grows in this region of Appalachia, and it's actually selling for quite high amounts of dollars right now. So we see through the Savannah Bee Company, we see ourselves being able to supply some of that honey.
Also, some of the benefits from eating local honey is you get that pollens from the trees, and it boosts your immune system, and you won't be as allergic to it.
Have you considered another revenue line item for your business, the marketing of your beekeeping expertise to beekeepers whose practices maybe are endangering their hives?
Yes, sir. We have also considered our consultancy services and offering them to beekeepers themselves.
I'm interested in the bourbon. How long does it take for honey to take on the flavor of bourbon sitting in a 55-gallon barrel?
This is actually something that has not even been tested yet. As far as we've been able to discover, we are some of the first people to actually entertain the idea of doing it, aging the honey itself to taste like bourbon. So we'd have to do some trial and error to figure that out, but that's what we're looking at.
Call us for that.
So as a beekeeper myself, I'm very envious of your outfits. That's very nice. You've done an excellent job in your sort of marketing and your research. What is the extent of your experience? You say you have 2 hives. Did you sort of grow up doing beekeeping, or is this a brand new for you folks? Or
it's actually brand new. So my dad and I were kind of talking about starting the beekeeping hobby as it is. And then as we started to reap the honey from it, we started seeing that there's actually demand for it in this area. So that's kind of how this business grew out of it.
is there a fairly large group of beekeepers in your particular locale?
I wouldn't say it's fairly large. As we mentioned in the hive, most of them are aging, and they do it, as far as commercial honey beekeepers, there's none. However, there is the Greenup County Beekeeping Association, who we will call if we need any consultancy services. They do it mostly for hobbies and have small amounts of hives. And I'd say it probably has about 15 members.
Well, it sounds like if you get that bourbon honey, you've got to taste it.
Yes.
Thank you all very much.
Judges now will go into deliberation. It should be about 20 minutes. And then we're going to hear from Andy Glockner. So judges, please.
You guys do all research.
The judges are on their way out, so they'll be making a decision and making the announcement.
Sorry to blow your honey.
Everybody drank all the honey they got with the We have another program that'll be here in a couple weeks. It's called Startup Weekend. And David Kilroy, where did he go? David right over here. With the Tri-State Angel Investment Group, we are the sponsors of the Kickstarter, which is helping you, Startup Weekend. I keep saying it wrong, I apologize. But we have 4 free tickets to that program if you want to learn how to be an entrepreneur. And that's what this program is all about. So see David if you're interested in Startup Weekend, all right? The next person that's going to talk is Faith.
So I'm going to talk about the William Beale Award. My father, who passed on 3 years ago, was an inventor, and he started a company called SunPower in Athens, Ohio. And at its height, it employed 100 folks, and it was sold, and it's a wonderful engineering company based on the invention that he created called the free piston Stirling engine. And distributing his legacy funding is always very difficult because the kinds of distribution that I personally would do would not be his. He was a very different person from me. So I try to channel my dad a little bit when I do this. So first of all, I'm going to divide, there's $1,000. I am going to divide this among multiple recipients. And I would like to say that just from a personal perspective, I really liked the carbon footprint impact, the environmental concerns of a couple of the companies presented this evening. And so I would like to give $100 each to Happy Little Industries and GC Cleaning. I really appreciate that. And then in terms of what my dad would do. So my dad, those who know my dad are right. He was a wild-eyed inventor, and he was an engineer. And he loved the weird, different things that probably wouldn't go anywhere, but some of them would really leap like a gazelle forward. And so what I'd like to do is divide between the two wildest engineering ideas there were. EchoTop laptops and Flow on the Go, I'd like to give $400 each to those.
Andy's going to talk.
All right. I had this long speech written out, but I'm going to forego it. There's no need. I mean, the winners, you're all winners. How great are these young people? Yeah, this is the fourth year we've been involved. I guess it's fourth year of the event. And I know Tim and I and Mike and Joe are really proud to be sponsors. So happy that Steve Moore and Waystron and Kentucky Farmers Bank with April and Don, and we're going to get Will Burke and Osco involved next year. A lot of other sponsors. I mean,
Will just said he's going to put in $10,000 next year.
Great. I mean, what can you say about these young men and women? I mean, you think entrepreneurship is dying or dead? This is proof otherwise. I mean, these are our future leaders. And, you know, I look back and I think, man, when I was a sophomore, junior, and senior in high school, I could have never gotten up in front of a crowd and done a delivery. All these teams, super, super impressive, weren't they?
Yes.
And, so I'd just like to say to you young ladies and gentlemen, so impressed. You're so impressive. You're blessed with gifts and talents that God gave you, and I think you're all going to go and use those in a positive, wise way. I just ask you, you know, always trust in God, trust in yourselves, trust in your parents, your teachers, your friends, your coaches, and dare to dream, always. Thank you.
Well, I'll tell you, we went back into the judges' chambers, and I had told them that I was not going to vote unless there was a tie, and I was told that they were going to score every team 30. and 30's the top score. Just to make me have to like figure out who the winners were. I mean, that's how difficult this task was, because we heard from some amazing teams. Every one of you all are winners. And I want you to make sure that you thank, whoever coached you, your counselors, your teachers, your parents, your friends, whoever gave you advice. Make sure that you give a big thank you to them, because you can't get anywhere in life without support. You got to have support of other people. But each and every one of you did a fantastic job. And the good news is that every one of you all are winners. We're awarding money to every single team that presented tonight, because you did just such a fantastic job. It was very difficult to rank all of the teams, but we did our best, and then we worked on a few additional awards. So I will announce the 3 special awards first, and then when I go through the list of all the scores, as I want you to come up at that point in time, and I want you to step to the side and make sure you get a picture with Andy Glockner.
And Tim and Steve. And also for all of the William Beal Awards, we want a picture with each one of her winners with her also.
Okay, we will do that.
And with the teachers, come up with the teams, because we have a thank you card.
Great.
Everybody come up.
Big group picture. Okay. So the most viable business idea, which receives an award of $750, goes to Yak Rack. The most daring dream, which also will receive $750, goes to EcoTop. And the best social impact idea, with also an award of $750, goes to Project Renaissance. So, the teams that were scored 13 and 14 are GC Cleaning for $750, and with the William Beal Award of $100, you will be getting $850. And also Happy Little Industries, $750, additional $100. We have GC Cleaning come up.
And their teacher.
How many people?
Okay. Let's come over here in front of the wall, or just in front of this table right here.
Good.
And if we could have Happy Little Industries come up. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you. Yes, please.
Everybody look up here.
Number 12, with an award of $750, is Project Renaissance. So, and with their Best Social Impact Award, they'll be taking home $1,500. So, congratulations.
guys.
Next, with an award of $900, we have Go Nuts. And we got samples of their nuts, and I will tell you, their nuts are special. Next, with an award of $1,000, goes to Forget Me Not.
Here for me, I'll do 3.
The next team with an award of $1,100 is Mint Performance.
Hang on a second. What? Go ahead, Brian. I'll do 3, ready?
With an award of $1,200, Knee Wrap Crank.
Eric, give it.
Next, with an award of $1,500, Flow on the Go. And with their William Bill Award of $400, they will be taking home $1,900. Taking home $1,800 is Ready Repair. And now we're down to the top 5 teams in 5th place, and a $2,000 award goes to Hand Bands. In fourth place, taking home $3,000 is Satara. Okay, in third place, with an award of $4,000, EcoTop. Of course, they also got the most daring dream, and they got the William Bill Award of $400, so they will take home a total of $5,150.
I don't mind a lot of life now.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
I just want to say in spite of you.
In second place, with an award of $5,000, Griffith Skoll.
Hey, before they announce the winner, one more shout out for Mike Thompson.
Yes.
Without Mike has spearheaded this for 4 years, grown it, has gotten to know, I know he knows a lot of the administrators and teachers in the tri-state area schools, and I can tell by the way he interacts with the students that he's become really close and a close mentor to them. And I can tell you personally from all of us, all the sponsors, we really thank Mike for all his dedication and his time. So huge applause.
So we had $34,000 to give away, and that leaves us with $7,750 that goes to Yak Rack. And that's $7,000 for first place and $750 for the most viable business idea.
I'm excited, guys.
Yeah. Thank you. This is exciting.
Show this to me.
Let's get on in there.
You guys slide music away from the TV real quick. You go, look at We're good.
I just want to say thank you again to all the teams. Thank you so much to the judges who did an incredible job. Thank you. And if you want to sponsor this event, we're always looking for more money. So thank you all so much.
My name is Steve Moore. I'm the president and CEO of Western Holdings, which is one of the sponsors of the Dare to Dream program. And I'm a judge. I was a judge last year, and Mike and Andy and the group were kind enough to offer me back again this year, and I love the opportunity. Just a great opportunity to be part of what's going on here. The energy and the excitement you get from working with young entrepreneurs is just hard to describe unless you've had a chance to experience it. So we're trying to build some momentum here and give a head start to some young folks and really see what happens in the area. So just glad to be part of it.
Anything else?
Just would strongly encourage people to get involved with Shawnee State, and we're here at the Kricker Innovation Center, a great hub for entrepreneurship, and there's always opportunities to reach out and to help and to mentor people, and this is a great opportunity to do it here in this facility, and there's just a lot of good energy and excitement to be part of it.
I'm Faith Knudsen. I worked for the Voinovich School at Ohio University in Athens, and I have been involved with this competition since it began. I've been incredibly impressed with the energy and entrepreneurship of the youth here. I've been particularly impressed by the tri-state aspect of it and how encouraging it is to see all of these kids get together and really engage in thinking about how to solve the problems that they're facing in innovative ways. My father, William Beal, who died a couple of years ago, has put a little bit of money into carbon footprint reduction, that is, things that enhance the environment. And that's part of the reason that I'm a judge, is that I work with the money that he left and provide it for students who are engaged in environmental protection. And so I'm really looking forward to hearing some of those ideas tonight. And in general, I really appreciate everything that's going on here.
All right. Hi, I'm Jeff Bauer. I'm president of Shawnee State University. This is my first time judging this competition, the Dare to Dream competition. Looking forward to it. I heard great things from last year's competition. I've already read through some of the ideas. They're phenomenal. So I'm looking forward to listening to each of the teams discuss and market their products and see where it all ends up.
Hi, I'm April Perry, CEO and Chairman of the Board of Kentucky Farmers Bank in Boyd County, Kentucky, and I am the lead judge for the Glockner Dare to Dream contest. I've been involved in this contest since the inception, both as a supporter, financial supporter, and also as a judge. And I think this contest is fantastic because the students, instead of complaining about ideas, they come up with solutions to ideas, and they take the solution and turn it into a business idea. So I think it gives them a great perspective on life, and going through this whole project, presenting in front of a group of people and thinking out like everything that you need to think about in order to come up with a viable business is just a great, it's a great thing for these students to go through, and I think it teaches them a lot about life and should help set them up to be very successful in the future. So I look forward to being involved in this contest for years to come.